How Julian Nagelsmann would set up Chelsea. Today we're going to be going through tactics, formations, key players, and some leaked tactical documents. If you're getting ready for that, make sure you smash that like button and check out SofaScore. But anyway, let's dive straight in. Julian Nagelsmann favours two main systems as a manager. A variant of a 3-5-2 and also playing a 4-2-2 or 4-2-3-1 shape. Chelsea in that first shape in the 3-5-2 could set up as follows. A back three of Wesley Fofana, Thiago Silva, Badiashile, with the wing-backs Ben Chilwell and Reece James providing the width. Enzo Fernandez operating as Julian Nagelsmann's Kimmich for Chelsea, and Mason Mount and Kovacic in midfield with the front two of Joao Felix and, of course, Kai Havertz. In possession, of course, the shape would rotate. We could see a lot of ball-playing options with Julian Nagelsmann's number 10 dropping off, the wing-backs getting high, and very much attacking with a number of players. Of course, Julian Nagelsmann started off his career as manager at Hoffenheim in 2015. He was the youngest Bundesliga manager ever to have a side qualify for the Champions League, as he finished third. He then went on to manage RB Leipzig, getting to the Champions League semi-final. Bayern Munich followed after a €25 million transfer fee was paid for the manager, which became the biggest ever fee spent on a coach. He then, of course, won the Bundesliga title, but was sacked the next season in March. There's been a bit of murmurings around Bayern Munich. There's been a mole in the camp. Someone's been leaking tactical information. And, of course, some of the Bayern Munich team that haven't been playing have reportedly turned on Julian Nagelsmann following his removal as coach. Julian Nagelsmann to Chelsea makes a lot of sense. One of the best young coaches in the world of football. If Chelsea can get their man, they'll have one of the best managers for the next sort of 10 years. Again, Bayern Munich spent a lot of money. They signed him on a 5-year deal. Then they decided to let him go. Before we dive into the leaked tactical documents, let's take a look at how Julian Nagelsmann compared to the great Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick, treble winners with Bayern Munich, the Bundesliga, the Pokal Cup, and the Champions League. Really hard to get to those levels. But Nagelsmann, to be fair to him, got pretty close. 77% win rate for Nagelsmann versus 85% win rate for Hansi Flick. You break that down to goals per game. In fact, Julian Nagelsmann beats Hansi Flick on goals for and against. I feel Bayern Munich have gone far too early on getting rid of one of the best young managers in the world of football. So let's move on to the tactical shape and structure. Of course, we mentioned Chelsea could set up in a 3-5-2. Let's have a look at the leaked documents that were leaked to the build before the Bochum game. In this situation, Bayern Munich have got the ball in the mid-third of the pitch with their centre-backs and looking to dominate the play. What I love about the tactical setup is how positional it is. You can see Nagelsmann's got his two wing-backs high, describing those as jokers, with the ball near full-back being a little bit closer in a half-half space, halfway between the defensive midfield line and the offensive midfield line. Of course, the far side joker or wing-back is on the last line. Breaking it down to further tactical points here, we've got the situation where the half defenders, of course the outside centre-back in the back three, is going to compact or be ready to compact if they're pressured to make ball rotation a little easier. We're looking at the rest defence, a 3v3 plus a very aggressive number 6, of course Leon Goretzka in this game. In terms of tactical instructions, if you're going to go from one of the jokers to a free number 6, switch the play. If we're looking at the 8s, Musiala and of course Leroy Sané are going to drop into positions either side of the defenders or into the space vacated by the joker to get on the ball with the joker high on the last line and then look for inside passes. Of course, some simple instructions. The simplest way to get the ball to the 8, the joker and the 10. Very complicated tactics in a sense, but what top level players need to have is the ability to retain this type of information. You know, where the ball is, where the orientation is on the pitch. The good thing with Chelsea, when you're looking at the tactical intelligence of those players, they've already played under a positional manager in Thomas Tuchel. So the likes of Ben Chilwell, Reece James, the back three, Enzo Fernandez, of course, as the 6, are all going to understand the tactical play that Nagelsmann's going to want. Let's move forward to playing out from the back. Again, all tactical setups, building with the back 3 plus goalkeeper. The 6 in very much a higher holding position. The 8 dropping into a tilting position to receive the ball behind the jokers. Jokers on the last line. The 10 nice and flat, and of course the diagonal exit ball, as they call it, to play to fullback or from centre half out to the 8s to escape. Moving Moving forward to the defensive setup, of course, this is pressing out from the back again, forcing the goalkeeper into long balls, having the ability to not only man mark in defensive midfield, but playing in a really aggressive manner, winning the duels at the base with their three, dropping back into a deep 5-3-2 in the final third, but also if a free man plays a square ball, dropping back again. What you can get from this is the detail that Julian Nagelsmann manages his side and the tactical setup. Only a good thing in the modern day. So, of course, applying that to this 3-5-2 with Chelsea, you'd think João Felix plays that Thomas Muller role off the line. Kai Havertz as the number 9. Again, there is question marks over Kai Havertz at Chelsea. Misses far too many big chances for me. Julian Nagelsmann usually does really well with a target man. Think of Lewandowski or Yusuf Poulsen at RB Leipzig. A player that, if they're getting pressed, they can utilise the long ball up the top of the pitch. Again, Kai Havertz could grow into this role, but I think maybe spending in the summer, buying a proper target man to allow the players to play off him could be really vital. As we mentioned as well, the ability of the wing-backs is going to be crucial to Julian Nagelsmann's side and the tactical awareness. We know that Reece James got that down to a T. He's going to become a very, very key player under Nagelsmann. Not only his ability to play and to create from a high position, but he could also be used in more of a defensive position if Nagelsmann is either chasing a game or looking to, break down a deep opponent, playing maybe a winger in that sort of high position. And Reece James is a ball-playing centre-half. We've seen that with Klosterman. We saw that with Halstenberg at RB Leipzig, with Nagelsmann actually building with 2 full-backs and a centre-back to be able to progress the play. You've got to remember that RB Leipzig team was really, really good. A number of second-place finishes in the Bundesliga with Nagelsmann, really stretching the opposition. But moving forward to other shapes and other tactical setups that we could see under Julian Nagelsmann, of course, the obvious one would be the 4-2-2-2 that would move to a 4-2-3-1 with some variation and movement. This again is a shape that Chelsea could really utilise. Havertz with João Felix behind him, Mason Mount operating wide right, and Mudryk coming in as the left attacker, with of course Chilwell moving to left back, Reece James the right back, and the double pivot being made up of Kovacic and Enzo Fernandez. I think the beauty of this setup for Nagelsmann is I don't really know which one is going to be the Kimmich. I expect it will be Enzo Fernandez, but it could actually be Kovacic, allowing Enzo to play a little bit higher and joining the attacking line as one of those kind of free 8 players. The other thing that we see with Nagelsmann is, starting in a 4-2-3-1 shape is actually moving to a 3-4-2-1. That, of course, is one of the wide players moving inside to become a number 10, the base being the 2 defensive midfielders, and then Reece James joining the final third. We've seen this shape many times with Nagelsmann at Bayern and, of course, at RB Leipzig, where they're building with this 3 at the back again that starts as a 4, Reece James moving forward, the double base, and this U shape in midfield. This is vitally important for the progression of the ball, having players on the diagonal, not only in these wide positions to find the passes, but also in the narrow positions, again, to find the passes in between the lines. A key concept of Nagelsmann's tactics is those progressive passes, the diagonals, breaking the space, the simplest pass to progress the play, either to the joker, to the inside players, or even a long ball up to the forward. But again, I think the big thing with Nagelsmann is the potential that he has as a coach in the modern day is absolutely massive. The way that his teams have defended at times has been absolutely outstanding, having that kind of cover stopper situation at the back, but the gegenpressing is vitally important, and I think that's one of the biggest things that Chelsea will benefit for, is that aggression to press super high and squeeze the play and then win the ball back and then counter-attack. It's going to get Chelsea more goals. The other exciting thing for Chelsea fans, I think, if the 3-5-2 is the default shape for Chelsea, so let's bring in Wesley Fofana back into the side, move Chilwell high, dropping into that midfield 3. One of the best players at Leipzig for Nagelsmann was Christopher Nkunku. Nkunku has moved on his game and, has played more of a forward in recent years for RB Leipzig. And again, that's something that Nagelsmann could utilise him as a forward. But interestingly enough, in a 3-5-2, Nkunku was the most creative player for Leipzig in the first Bundesliga season. 3 assists from central midfield. And that, again, is something that Nagelsmann could do with Nkunku in that deep position. But of course, if, utilising different shapes and formations, he could join the attacking unit and the attacking structure when Chelsea build with a two-man midfield. Overall, I think Bayern was stupid to sack Nagelsmann. The utilising of modern play, of positional play, of gegenpressing is all great things. You know, Bayern Munich had some fantastic results on Julian Nagelsmann, and those leaks at the end, I think, ultimately cost Nagelsmann his job. But some big performances, some massive wins, 6-1 against Werder Bremen, very much playing a 4-2-3-1. The transitions to a 3-4-1-2. The flexibility is absolutely mad. Chelsea are going to get the best out of some of their signings, and I think this is very good for the Premier League. Another fantastic manager to battle with the likes of Guardiola, Arteta, Klopp, and of course Erik ten Hag. But guys, there have been my thoughts on Julian Nagelsmann to Chelsea, how they'll set up, the tactics, the formations. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Check out SofaScore and smash that like button. We'll see you next time.